Bill, on Friday, we were talking about all these letters that the Trump administration had been sending out and talking about perhaps how the EU had been spared for the time being because they were engaged in negotiations with Trump around a potential baseline rate of 10%. He obviously surprised them over the weekend by insinuating it could go as high as 30%. How disruptive could that be for the EU?
Yeah, it's hard to know whether this is really Trump narrowing in on what he thinks his final offer will be, or just expressing some frustration at perhaps where the state of the negotiations are. Obviously, as we were talking last week, there was a lot of discussion between the EU and the U.S. about having a flat rate, but then having different rates for some clear or key sectors. So there was talk about German automobile makers who have factories in the U.S. getting perhaps a lower tariff rate. There was talk about alcohol exports from the EU getting some kind of a different rate, pharmaceuticals. So for the U.S. president to come in here over the weekend and just say, it's going to be a 30% flat rate, suggests some frustration. But as he said in that clip you played there, maybe he'll change his mind, maybe he won't. There's still more than 2.5 weeks to go before August 1st. In the White House world, that is a lifetime in terms of being able to negotiate different terms. So the road is still somewhat long, and there might be a lot more whiplash ahead in the coming couple weeks.
Yeah, you say there's a couple of weeks is a long time in the Trump administration. It's difficult to believe it's only been 6 months of the Trump administration. But let's also speak about Mexico. They also received one of those letters. And how is Mexico responding to the threat of a similar set of tariffs? But there, of course, the main issue is fentanyl.
Yeah, that's right. The 30% tax rate the president announced also applying to Mexico, although perhaps not on a wide range of goods included in that U.S.-MCA trade deal with Mexico, the U.S., and Canada. President Claudia Sheinbaum so far having a pretty relaxed reaction to this, saying that, listen, a lot of countries have gotten these letters. We have a good negotiating team. They're going to continue talks. I think she's taking the slightly longer view of there's still plenty of time to negotiate. April 2nd became June 9th, and that's become August 1st. So there is still perhaps some additional steps in this process ahead of everyone.